Now, one of the most powerful men in world football has told the BBC that preparations for next year's World Cup in Brazil have been harder in fact than in South Africa 4 years ago. FIFA's General Secretary Jerome Volker says they're facing many problems, including construction delays and civil unrest. Ahead of Friday's much-anticipated World Cup draw, he also appealed to Brazilians not to protest against the tournament. Here's what he's told our sports editor, David Bond.
I mean, I will not go against, because it's a right to demonstrate and to be in the street. Firstly, that for me it's the wrong time. For them it's the best time. For me it's the wrong time. The wrong time because it's a time where Brazil should enjoy a unique time, a time they have not enjoyed since 1950, a time where they have a national team who won the Confederations Cup with a team who potentially is really the potential winner of the World Cup 2014. So there should be a support from all Brazil for the organization of the World Cup. We are not asking to support FIFA. We are asking to support the World Cup. We're asking to support an event they won 5 times already and they dream to win for the first time at home. That's what we are saying. You welcome the world. You have decided to welcome the world. You have decided to host this World Cup. Make sure that the world is happy to come to you. And that will be the one part of the legacy. You will have and you will be recognized around the world as this beautiful country called Brazil.
Jerome Volker there talking to our sports editor David Bond. Well, with me is Bruno Garcés from BBC Brazil. Well, he was practically giving Brazilians a little bit of a lecture there. I mean, how's that going to go down?
Well, it's not going down too well, at least if we take into account the reaction seen on social media. People are saying that Jerome Volker seems to be delusional if by preaching to the Brazilians they would bow to that kind of thing. Some people are saying that there are things that are bigger than football, so Brazilians have the right and should protest whenever it pleases them.
I mean, is there any sense? I mean, so obviously from what you're saying, people are quite cross about that kind of thing, the sort of thing he said, but are there any people who just feel embarrassed for the country? I mean, this is a country that was being lauded as an emerging economy, a world leader and so on, and suddenly, around the world they're thinking, well, they can't build any stadiums properly.
Well, I think there are the delays in stadiums, and that has a lot of focus has been put into that. But I think the biggest problems are the lack of infrastructure that has been built and was expected surrounding the World Cup. There was great expectations that airports, that roads would be improved, and that hasn't happened, in spite of the fact that there were clear deadlines for that and there was investment.
But aren't people embarrassed at the fact that they haven't got all those things? How can you claim to be a world leader, if you like, and not have those things?
I think there is a sense of embarrassment, but also of disappointment, but also of acknowledgement that perhaps Brazil shouldn't be hosting the World Cup in the first place, as we saw the big protest that took place from last year. And there is huge expectations that we're likely to see much more, I think.
More protests?
Yes. And
I suppose what's interesting about this, I mean, Brazil would not be the first country to have problems in the run-up. I mean, Athens had it, South Africa had its problems. But if you take South Africa, the difference was, problems or not, the population was up for it. They were really behind, hosting it.
yes, I think you have there 2 very different contexts. It was one, the nation putting apartheid behind in its past, burying that, while Brazil has there is a sense that it hasn't, that maybe this might be coming in the wrong time, that at least a big fraction of the population seems to think that the somewhat 8 billion pounds of public money being invested in these games would be better placed if put into hospitals and schools and improvement in education and health system, which suffer from serious problems.
All right, Bruno Garcés, we've got to leave it there. Thanks.